Hello and welcome back. This is MC1 Gamer showing you the final version of my Convert This Nagash. So I've completed a number of things and everything is now ready to be primed and painted. So here's what has been updated. First off, you can see that I've completed the spirit host that's holding Nagash's staff. I finished up a couple of the extra pieces for the spirit hosts in the back. Everything is ready to have the pieces mounted once primed in the front. I have his shoulder pads, both of the bone ones, the book that's going to be mounted right in that little spot there, his bony, I don't know what that is, that's his belt piece, I don't know, maybe it's a cod piece, it's just for undead. It's going to be hanging out in front there, covering the seam, and of course Nagash's head. I opted, especially after some feedback, not to go with the spiny spikes that are on his back. I think there's enough busy stuff going on here. We don't need the spikes. But the real thing that I've been working on for the past few days is his base. And I'll provide some close-ups. Sorry for the shakiness. This is the arcane ruins that I've mashed up. And I have a bunch of stuff, as I intended when I first started this, to have a bunch of stuff that's just coming out, all different types of things, coming out of the base looking like Nagash has actually summoned a variety of things. So we have some skeletons and undead coming out on both sides. I have these pieces in the front and on both sides. They're openings when I cut the base up, but I kind of liked having that open as opposed to just sealing it up. I had notion to seal it up, make it look like it was a solid stone, but I thought that, you know, this is probably some kind of an altar, and, you know, there's probably plenty of blood that kind of runs off the sides, and there would probably be some kind of a sewerage system or a system to run off when it rains to wipe that off and clean it for the next ritual. I don't know where I came up with that. I'm just trying to use some practical thought in how this might be done if it was real world. But I like the idea of that, and I also like the idea of, as things were being summoned, they were also trying to come out of the actual sewers. So I have, again, zombies and skeletons just coming out of the ground, so that'll all be painted up, and I have some grave guard coming out of the, just emerging from the muck. In this part of the sewer, I have just one little rat, which I guess was just an homage to the Skaven, who are probably keeping an eye on Nagash, being that he's come back. Got a, you know, just a little ghoulish arm that's coming out of there. A couple of zombie arms coming out of there. On this side, I have a couple of Black Knights emerging. I wanted to have two Black Knights, one coming up and one just, you know, just the head and the torso, but I didn't have really enough room, so I just put the horse head. But I still think it works. I mean, these are actual models that they've been shaved back so they fit on these sides. And as I mentioned in the previous video, I've cut some impressions into the base such that after I paint, I can actually simply, with the pegs that I drilled into the bottom of some of these very carefully, and then put just some pieces from the sprues, really, and then just kind of sharpen them up, and then line them up so that it's not really going to fit perfectly, because some of them will need to clip in a little bit better, but that's pretty much going to be what it will look like when it's done. It's going to have that kind of an effect. So when it's all painted up, it's not just going to be all these wispy spirit hosts. It's going to be a whole representation of an army that Nagash is basically known for raising. So, next stop, painting Nagash. This will be primed starting tomorrow. And then, the next project that I have is actually a project that I'm doing for Anthony from the Sustainable Center, and he gave me a whole pack of bits and pieces and some wood planks, just a whole bunch of stuff. So my next Convert This will be my first time building anything from the Skaven book. And this is what I'm going to be emulating. This is a picture of what Anthony would like. He's got 2 models that he's asked me to do. And let me just get this light out of here. Okay. So this is what he's looking. I know this is somebody else's model, but this is the inspiration for what he would like to have done. And so this is some kind of a palanquin. I'm not really sure of the exact model, or because I'm not a Skaven player and I don't know what this, especially the special character or unit is, but it looks awesome. And somebody converted this up. I'm going to try and stay as close as I can to it. Maybe, a little bit of creative license. He said, you don't have to really stick to the exactness, but I'm going to try and get as close as I can to this particular model. But I think it just looks awesome. It looks like it has a bunch of storm vermin holding up almost like a chariot, horse, or whatever's pulling the chariot, and then a warlord is probably on the litter in the back. And then I have another one that he would like, and this looks like it's a I guess it's a bone breaker with the either the caster or the warlord on top. So he saw this great conversion, which obviously has been done by I guess Rothan Studio, and obviously I'm gonna emulate it, but I'm not gonna completely steal it. But hey, Anthony loved this, and I'm gonna try and stick to the theme as much as possible. I've got the little chains already for that, and he's given me again a good supply of stuff to work with. So the next Convert This will be my very first Convert This Skaven. I put back on the back burner a couple of other projects that I have, which I'm hoping that I'll be able to get through because I'm going to a tournament with my Undead Legion. So I still have intention of completing the skeletal archers that are going to be mashed up from Bretonnian longbowmen. And I've got the War Sphinx that I'm doing as a bony giant werewolf type creature. I'm going to basically use the Mortark for that. And I've got a couple other conversion ideas that I'm going to eventually get to, but this is what I'm going to be doing next. So Nagash is complete, and Skaven are up on deck. I hope you enjoyed this. If you like it, feel free to, of course, comment as you wish with any suggestions, comments, thoughts, questions. And of course, if you're the first time here viewing this, please feel free to subscribe. I will be doing not just these conversion videos with updates, but also quite a few battle report scenarios and analysis and opinions, and then response videos to my fellow YouTubers in the community. Have a great day, everybody.